Hey guys, welcome to another class, and this time we are painting a forest. The tricky part about this painting is basically like using enough water to make it still loose, but then you also need to lift up a lot of it to create the sun rays. And the first layer is kind of messy in a way, and we start from light to dark with watercolors. So even this is my reference photo, the reference photo I'm sharing with you. It's not really exactly what I had in mind when I was painting it. I didn't want my painting to look this dark. In general, I just don't like to paint dark things. Whenever I create pencil sketches for landscapes or forests like this one, my sketches are really rough. So they're not really detailed. This is just a general idea where I want the trees to be, just so I have that visual when I place the colors. And for the colors, I pretty much use like a very basic palette. I always use pretty much neutral tint. It's just a gray color. Burnt sienna is a very regular light brown color. For the brushes, I used Round 4 Heritage Series, then Rigor 8 Aqua Elite. Let's have different brushes. Basically, you want to have one main brush. So I've been using a lot the Round 8 and 12 Black Velvet Series. These are softer brushes. Whenever I was painting like the branches, leaves, I was using Rigor brushes. For the paper, I used the rough watercolor paper, and this is 156 pounds, and the most common, I guess, size would be 140 pounds. And this is a screenshot of my working palette. This palette is Plastic by Richson, and I buy this from dickblick.com. This is flat 1-inch brush, Black Velvet Series by Silver Brush. So for now, I'm just focusing on wetting the paper. Make sure it's wet and it stays wet for a longer time. So I'm using a smaller flat brush now. This is a 3/4. It's much easier to handle this brush actually. And then there is some of the Isoline Yellow Deep, some of the Yellow Ochre. I'm starting from the light, and I'm searching for that light where I'm going to accent it the most. So this is Isoline Yellow Deep, and now some of the Peach Halo Blue Red shade. I want these colors to blend on sides in that way, but not like over the top. I want to see those colors separately. So that's why I am applying them this way. So the sun rays go in one direction. And it would be super easy to create these sun rays really if we're just painting one layer only. And it's totally doable. We can just do, of course, one layer. But I like the vibrancy of watercolors, and then I have that path in the middle. So overall, like, yes, there's some similarity to the reference photo, but I really didn't want to like glue my eyes to it too much. Was where those sun rays, that light that comes through, that peeks through, I just loved it, and that's why I wanted to use it. I personally prefer softer brushes, and it's much easier for me to paint with this brush, and I like the pointy long end. And because I'm painting wet on wet, everything kind of like looks smoother, especially if it dries like this. It will be super smooth. There's some of the Quinn red in there, and just mixing these colors basically on a paper, because I grab one color after the other, and it's not like I'm mixing them in a well. I am grabbing those colors and I'm kind of like mixing them as I am painting. I just need colors in there to guide me through for my second layer. Overall colors, and even between the trees on the left side, like eventually they will all like kind of blend, but I will be lifting up to open them up. Right now I grabbed the 3/4 brush, which is Black Velvet Series softer brush, and I'm lifting up, and I'm just pushing paint around, just playing with what I already have in there, grabbing a little bit of that yellow ochre, there's some of that Quinn red, and then I'm lifting up with a paper towel. For now, still adding a few more trees, and again we'll go back and forth just to make sure we have these sun rays in there, to right from the center to the bottom and so on, just constantly working everywhere and keeping an eye on your paper. And that's what's important too, because you're dealing with water, so you really want to keep an eye on every section, on every part of your paper. And we're letting it dry. And this is the moment where we're gonna start building up this forest. Like, you're gonna start seeing a little more here at this stage. So I am using a ton of water and paint here. Some drops of paint that fell on the paper, that's okay. All I had to do was just use paper towel. But what I did is I used like a lighter blue color, which is the peach tailor blue, and then I mixed it a little bit with sap green. I created that background right away in the back, and then on top of that I added the indigo and just I added some of that and then browns, and I'm painting those trees. So it's like I created that nice bluish background, and it's more of a paler wash if you notice. So there's not that much really paint, or the paint is not as concentrated, I should say. In the middle section, I added a few more trees, and I used the tip of the brush to create thinner trees, smaller trees, and then works on some of those leaves in the middle. And now I'm adding all these darker colors on top of those blues, so this is gonna be part of the tree. So if you have too much water, then it just becomes like a big puddle of water, and you don't want that either. But now we are coming along a little bit, like we're seeing more of that forest, we're seeing more of those trees. So now I'm adding those browns. Naturally, I don't want sometimes just to mix those colors on the paper, on the paper. I let them mix in a natural way. So like right now, that's why you see the separation between like the blues and the greens, and then you see the browns. I don't have to hurry too much because the paper is still wet, and it's wet because I keep adding paint. Right now, dipping my brush in water, wiping it really well on a towel, and I'm lifting up. So as you see, I am opening up those spots, those areas for my trees, so you can see the trees where that light comes from, like that main source, where we see like those sun rays coming out. Keep an eye on your paper, because once you lift up one area, you might grab some paint, and so you don't want to touch with that side another area that's light, because then you will bring that color in there and you dirt a little bit your paper. So you want to keep those areas clean. This kind of a lift up, as you see those sun rays, unless I lifted up before, because I would have had more paint sitting in there. So we are letting it dry before we add another layer. And as you see, everything has dried more pale, more pale. Even I added all these colors, all those vibrant colors, right? And placing some of that yellow, not everywhere, just for vibrancy of that light. So more vibrancy in the foreground, and the back looks more pale. So you want to see that light, you want to stand in that light. So, but the first step is to walk into that forest. And this is another rigger brush, and this is when I'm painting more of those branches, more of those leaves, and I'm using some of that indigo and sap green. I want to make sure I have enough of that contrast too, and all that contrast is basically there because I'm adding all these colors, and it's all becoming more colorful because this is not the first layer. This is our third layers. And now back to this. This is a rigger brush size 0, and I'm just painting more of those branches using that smaller and thinner brush. So we see a little bit of that, and then we also see those nice sun rays, because the sun rays, like behind those sun rays, you still see a little bit of trees, and that's what we wanted to achieve. Get that brush cleaned. I'm still actually bringing some color because the water is green or blue, so I need to be careful here, and I'm using some of that paper towel to make sure. So this is the round 8, back to the same brush, so larger brush, and just adding those trees, more trees, not adding really them because they're already there. I'm just adding more color on top of them. I do know I have to wait until this dries. Until it dries, I cannot do really much more. So now this is dry. Rigger 0, Versatile Series brush. This is a rigger brush, so long and thin brush, and I'm painting those branches. So this is my final layer. For now, this is like these are thinner branches, some of those leaves, and dragging that brush. So you want to have enough water in there so those lines are smooth and they don't break. I have been using Rigor Zero Versatile series and then the Prado series, which is much softer, but one is fine, so you don't need more than one brush, one Rigor brush. And this is the larger Rigor brush. This is the first time I'm using this brush actually. And I added some of the cobalt blue, and there's some of the indigo and neutral tint. So I want this color not to be like really pre-mixed, although it looks like almost it's all pre-mixed, but it's like I grabbed a little bit of each and I'm using those colors to paint larger branches. I'm still continuing to add more of that paint, more build up those branches and trees from the sides, and I'm happy with the background, how it turned out. A little more water because I want a little more transparency in those leaves. Plus it gives like a more natural feel to it, and automatically it gives more into the background. So more light in the center and everything darker on the edges on the outside, and just working with the tip of the brush. And this is pretty much it, guys. If you do have a washi tape, you want to remove it, you don't have to wait until it's all dry. But thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I can't wait to see your finished paintings.